faith of a mustard seed.
Welcome to another segment of the Drexwell Seymour Show. I'm so delighted to have the special guest on the show. Her name is Helena-Alexis Seymour, and she will talk more, give us more background about her. But I'm excited because I've been following her on social media, and I finally get an opportunity to officially meet her and introduce her to all of my viewers. And I just want to take this opportunity to welcome her and to thank her for giving me the opportunity to be on the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure and honor to be on your show today.
Thank you. So tell us a little about yourself. I know you were born in Canada, but tell us a little bit just about yourself.
Yeah, born and raised in Canada. My mom is Greek. On my side of the Greek family is from Samos, Greece. Have you ever been to Greece?
I haven't, but I love to.
Yeah, it's one of the most beautiful beaches. And then my father is from the Turks and Caicos Island, where you're located. Second best, well, I don't know, another best beach in the world. It's really hard to say who's number one, but I'm glad to say that my parents are from the best beaches.
You got the best of both worlds.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
And so they met on vacation in the Bahamas and fell in love, and then they moved to Canada, had me, and I feel like my parents were into the arts a lot. My mom was a model, my grandmother was a fashion designer, and when they had me, I was super shy and introverted, and I started out in dance classes and beauty pageants, and just a way for me to come out of my shell. And they noticed that I became more alive on stage. And then they enrolled me in modeling classes. And through that confidence being built by being on stage and in front of people, because some people, it's the opposite. It's like they're very talkative with their friends, but when they go in front of a crowd, they freeze. But for me, it's like when I'm with my friends, I'm like, that's when I freeze. But put me like public speaking, I shine. And so they were like, this is interesting. And so they then decided to open a little modeling etiquette school to help other young girls that were shy and come out of their shell, and seeing what it did for me, and having my mom with her modeling background and my dad is so animated, that they were able to give other girls this opportunity in Canada to shine. And as time went on, then I went on to developing my acting and modeling even more, booking a bunch of roles. And God had a plan this whole time from my childhood when I was super shy. It's like, I was bullied a lot in school, and I realized I'm grateful for everything, because everything leads us to where we are now in life. And my life would have been so different had it gone a different path or direction. So I'm grateful for the whole journey. And the whole bullying that I had in school and being shy and introverted really had me go inwards and become my own best friend and find more self-love. I connected with God. I didn't know who I was talking to, but I was talking to someone, and I guess it was Source. And so now I feel more comfortable being alone at home, and I can develop characters and the psychological aspect of it. So it all led to my ultimate journey of being an actress, which I didn't know. But I feel like we're born with a certain destiny, and how we get there that's the magic of being on Earth.
I believe so too. I honestly believe that we're born with a purpose, and and sometimes you might not recognize it right away, but it took me many years to recognize my purpose. But you're absolutely right. Do you mind, before we go any further, do you mind, did you pique my curiosity just now? You talk about bullying. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that, if that's okay?
Yeah, sure. So I grew up, like we said, in Canada, and the small town, it's not that small. It's 40,000, but everyone knows each other there, and there's not a lot of ethnics. Literally in my school, the first school that I went to, I was the only one. And then I got put into a public school. This was a Catholic school. In the public school, I was one of 3 light-skinned kids, not even full black, like we're all mixed, and one South American kid and an Asian girl. So there was like a handful of us ethnics at the school. So that was fine. I felt more at ease. But growing up before that, like from kindergarten up until the 2nd grade, I was bullied strong for the way that I looked, because there were no other ethnic kids. So I was a target. And the Caucasian kids would say very hurtful things that don't need to be repeated, but basically about my skin tone. And it just made me wonder, like, who am I? That's when I started asking the question, like, who am I? Like, I
Wow.
didn't choose to be in this body. I didn't choose to look this way. So who am I? And I'd ask my mom, and she's like, well, you're Helena-Alexis. I'm like, yeah, but who is that? Everyone apparently knows who that is, and they don't like it. So that's when I literally started my spiritual journey of finding out who I am on the inside, reading books and being curious and talking to God and all that stuff from the first grade. And some
Wow.
people ask, who am I when they're in their 30s? But
Yeah.
that was so, like, I appreciate my whole journey. Like I said, there's something that happens for a reason. And had it not been from that, I would have never gotten so spiritual. I would have never asked these questions. I would have never started to get closer to God. And that's why we're all on this planet. So I had the opportunity of getting there from child.
Wow. Wow. I'm sorry you went through that, but as you said, something came good out of it because it pushed you to reach your purpose and destiny.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And become
So
more
let's talk.
confident in my skin.
Yeah, that's yeah. I tell you, it's amazing what people have to go through in life sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's unfortunate,
It
that
is. And I feel that because I went through that and now I am in my 30s, and there are 30-year-olds that still don't feel comfortable in their skin, that God probably wanted me to be that, like, inspiration for
that
them.
voice.
Like, instead of like dictating, like, you should act like this, like, let me be an example of being confident and brave and courageous and standing in my power and who I am as a different person. Like, I don't dress or look the same as everybody else. And I'm happy with that. I love standing out. I was standing out from the moment I was born, and I'm totally okay with it. And so if that's my purpose, to also empower others to be different, unique, and stand in their power of being who they are, authentic, oh my gosh,
I know.
authentically, thank you. Because really, we're all authentic, we're all different, because there's not another me, there's not another you. So if you can stay true to you, you literally are being a rebel because you're not copying anybody else. So
Right.
living authentically is an act of rebellion. And I guess that's part of my journey as well.
I believe so too. And I believe honestly that, people are watching you and you are inspiring people. And I think you're giving a lot of hope to others because a lot of people are living in a hopeless life. But by, seeing what you went through and even listening to the show right now, you're going to provide a lot of hope for a lot of people. And I appreciate you sharing that part of your journey.
Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah.
So tell us about the acting part. When did you when you first started? What was your first acting role?
My first role, I was 9 or 10 years old for a commercial called Post Golden Raisin Crisp cereal.
Say it again.
And
Post
Golden Raisin Crisp.
Golden Raisin Crisp. Okay.
It doesn't exist anymore, but it was like a frosted cinnamon cereal back in the day when I was 9.
Okay.
And I used to go out on auditions with my brother, who was also acting and modeling back then. Now he's into management and he wants nothing to do with in front of the camera. He enjoys behind the scenes. So go figure. And he was the one that was booking all of the jobs. And so my brother and I kind of had this little competition when we were kids because we'd always go out in the same auditions. And because he'd always book the jobs, I'd always feel like the left out one again, like, oh, it's not really bullying, but like nobody likes me, like, wow, like, why is that? And there was this one audition for this commercial where the casting director came out into the waiting room, recognized my brother from another project he booked him on, and was like, hey, what's up? I remember you. Why don't you come in the room and help me audition these little girls before it's your turn? And I was like, right in front of me? You're just going to be best friends? So I was like, okay, well, he probably got this job too. So this is how it fired me up. So I went in the bathroom. I was wearing overalls with like a shirt tied around my waist and like a baseball hat. So I went and turned my baseball hat backwards and like adjusted my shirt. And I gave myself a pep talk in the mirror. And I was like, you're going to go in that room. And I'm 10, 9 or 10.
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
you're gonna, yeah. I was so fired up from that moment that I was determined to book this job. I was like, against all odds, I don't care if they're best friends and that it seems like he's already booked this job because he knows him from another project. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do something they've never seen before. I don't know what they're going to have us do in the room, but whatever it is, I'm going to stand out and I'm booking this job. So when it was our turn to go in, they brought us in as pairs. So my brother and I were in together waiting because we were watching the other pair that was previous to us because they wanted it to be like a quick, like, okay, you're next, go,
Oh,
instead of a
okay.
long wait to come from the waiting. So we're there on the side watching the people before us, these two kids, and all we had to do was eat cereal. So they were sitting at a table with a bowl and their spoon with fake cereal inside and just pretend like, eat your cereal. That's
Mm,
it. And so the kids, that's all they were doing with their spoon, like, mm.
okay.
And you'd think, yeah, okay, that's what you do. You just eat your cereal. So in my head, I was like, no, how am I going to stand out? So when my brother and I go in, sit down, my brother's eating his cereal, and I put my hand in my cereal and I'm tossing it up and I'm catching it and I'm just like eating with my hands and having a good time and playing with my food. And that's how I booked the job.
Oh, you became creative.
Yeah, but you have to stand out. Like
Mhm.
my brother saw me do that, and then he's like, "Should I also do that?" And you could see, like, I saw him look at me. I was like, "Just stop copying me." Like, you know.
Yeah.
So I will remember that moment for the rest of my life because you have to stand out. You have to be unique.
Mhm.
You can't follow the crowd. That's not how you're going to get ahead in life. And that's how I booked all of my jobs. Is just being myself and being different, which I already am. So embracing my authentic,
But and
whatever,
I can't
however you
pronounce
say
it
that
either.
word, being an individual,
Yeah.
and that's how we all need to live.
Okay. And then from there, what was your next peak moment in acting?
So then my first movie was to play Vanessa Williams in a flashback called Diva's Christmas Carol.
Oh,
I
wow.
was 15, yes, and it airs on VH1, BT, all the Christmas channels. Like it still airs to this day, and I was
Yeah.
15 in that movie. And yeah, that was amazing. Kathy Griffin's in that, Vanessa Williams, Chili from TLC, Duran Duran, like huge stars. And
Wow. That's
that
a big
was the
breakthrough.
that was, yeah. As soon as I did the commercial being on set, that's when I knew I wanted to be an actor.
Mm.
I was having so much fun. I was like, wow, this is what it's like. Like I could do this for the rest of my life. And then my first movie was like, yep, more please. Yes, God, this is it.
Mhm.
This is it.
Found it.
So
You found it.
yeah, that was, yeah. And it's beautiful that that still airs. Like that's a legendary movie that they
Yeah.
actually just tried to remake last year. So they call it A New Diva's Christmas Carol with Ashanti. So it's even got like a remake
Mm.
that just came out, but it's legendary. The original with me and Vanessa Williams is it.
Yeah, I have to check that. I saw your bio and I saw that, so I'm gonna
Hmm.
watch that movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's such a pleasure to work with Vanessa. I even got fitted for blue contacts that I wore to school afterwards. Like so much fun on that set.
Yeah, so a lot of networking achieved from that too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yeah. I was definitely talking about that for years afterwards.
So how do you prepare for these movies? I mean, how many, because you got to memorize these lines. How do you, on an average day, how do you prepare for it?
There's different methods, and I'm always exploring other methods. Like I've taken multiple different types of acting classes. I've taken Meisner techniques. I've taken classes where it's pretty straightforward and cookie cutter of how you do that. But I've realized through my own personal journey that I can't do it the way everyone else does it. I have to do it my own way. And so I've involved my own spiritual practices because we're all made up of the stars and so are the characters. Like what makes them different? They're human too. So I just started involving more of my spiritual knowledge into it. Like what chakra is activated? Like if they were an animal, what animal would they be? Or if there's an emotional color that they're expressing right now, what color would that look like? Just so it's more visual and more understanding for
Uh,
me. And this is a way that I enjoy learning. So I'm involving it with my scripts.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And you end up putting your all in all into it.
Put it
'Cause-
all into it because why did I study this? Like I said,
Mhm.
God had a reason that we went through every step in our life. So if I can acknowledge that and embody all of it into the characters, thinking that maybe it should go together because it had me understand myself as a human being, of course, then I can use that to create a different self. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
That's my process.
Okay. Now, for persons watching this video who's interested in going into the acting field, I know your mom had the modeling agency and you started out at 9 years old. but what do they need to do? Just especially coming from the Caribbean, who just completed high school. What sort of direction they need to get involved in order to become an actor or an actress?
Well, I would say start out in your local community, if there is talent shows or they have plays going on, or write your own scripts and create a show. I used to put on plays in my basement when I was a kid just to get
Oh,
comfortable doing that. So like
okay.
start out small, like see if you enjoy doing it. Maybe start writing, start putting something on YouTube. And then when you are ready, go out there, like maybe take a visit to New York or Los Angeles, or go to a convention. There's many conventions. The IMTA is a fantastic convention that I attended, International Model and Talent Association, which is every 6 months in July and January, New York and Los Angeles. Find a reputable school that can take you, and you could network and meet some agents there. But start small, like, one step at a time, or at least know what you want, like know your why. Like,
Mhm.
do you want to be a writer? Do you want to be a fashion model? Well, then start putting on fashion shows. Like, start doing it. Like, there's no reason to wait for someone to come and discover you. Just start doing it, and then God will lead you to the next level and the next level and the next level.
Mhm. That's good. That's good advice, actually, and then that's applicable in many other areas, not even only in the acting industry, but any other areas. What you're saying, start
Just
small and.
just start. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you recently won an award, right?
Yes.
Tell us about this.
I actually won a couple. So
Oh, mhm.
this summer, I won the Vegas Movie Awards Best Actress for my role in Chronicles of Jessica Wu, where I play an autistic superhero. And then my co-star and I, we have Jasmine Guy on our season 3.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes. And we both got onto the ballot for the Emmys this year. And then she got the nomination. And so we both went to, and I brought my dad as my plus one, and the director came to the Emmys, which
Nice.
was just a month ago. And she won Best Actress for our show, which I star in. So our show now has an Emmy behind it.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations to all your team. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So where do you see yourself now in the next couple of years? I know you're still young. I mean, I guess this is something you say you want to do. So you see yourself involved in this for a long time?
This is it. This is all I've been doing my whole life. So like I said, I started at 9 and I just continued to learn. I've learned behind the camera, in front of the camera, like interning at agencies. Like I just learned every single aspect, learning about spirituality. I got certified as a yoga instructor twice last year for yoga sculpt and power yoga training. Like just getting to know myself is my passion. I study astrology. I love feng shui, like anything to understand myself better so that I can create better characters, because acting, even crystals, like I love crystals, anything. uh, uh, just to create more authentic characters. But in order to do that, I have to know myself deeply. And so, yes, acting is the way forward for me. There are some things that are in the works right now moving forward that I can't speak on, but just know that you'll be seeing a lot more of me.
Mhm. Have you had any opportunity to like direct on any shows, anything like that?
Direct, not quite yet,
Mhm.
but that is something that maybe God does have in store for me, because I do love delegating. So,
Okay. Mhm.
and I love to create. So yeah, probably I'd create my own show and direct, produce, write, and star in it myself. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah. Now, I know, I mean, I just want to go back a little bit. I know you found what you like, but were you under pressure from society to look at alternative careers, or you didn't have any pressure?
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say pressure.
Hmm.
It's just that I'm Gemini and I have a bunch, like Geminis are the twins, so we have multiple different interests and things. So I naturally, like when I was working behind the scenes, like I enjoyed doing that.
Hmm.
And so there was like everything I did do except after high school. After high school, I put pressure on myself that I thought I had to get a job, because I didn't know I just knew I wanted to act and I didn't know what I was going to do. So I went to put my resumes at some restaurants and clothing stores, and I got a job at a clothing store It's called Les Elle de la Mode, and that store doesn't even exist anymore. But I went and I worked on my first day, and I had no fun. Like it was,
You didn't
I
enjoy
told
it.
my mom, I do not enjoy doing this. I would like to quit. She's like, but you just started. It's the first day. Like, give it 10 days. I'm like, I'm not passionate. You said to only do things that you're passionate about, and I'm not passionate. So I just kind of threw her teachings back, and she's like, okay, fair enough. Like, I taught you that. And so I gave it one more day, and it was during the Christmas holiday. So it was busy. It's not like I wasn't working. I just wasn't. And I was like, no, it doesn't bring me any joy. I don't feel like it's moving me forward with growth or knowledge. Like I'm just selling clothes and folding clothes. Like how is that making me a better person? I thrive on learning about myself. I thrive on growing internally. And this just felt very not me.
Okay.
So I ended that job, and then I just explored how I could help out around at agencies, and I got an internship in Italy to work at the agency there. So yeah, I was like, however I can just be in the industry and learn whatever aspect of it, that's what I want to do.
Okay. And so are you based in the US?
I'm in Los Angeles, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. That's the place, right?
That is. And honestly, like I love this city, this country. I have envisioned it from a child, so I'm grateful that God placed me here.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really grateful again for this opportunity. I don't know if you have anything else that you want to share that we haven't covered, but I love this conversation with you.
Thank you so much. Just a little note to the kids that it's okay to be different. You know, you're different is what makes you special, and that's how you're going to get ahead in life. So keep following your heart and keep standing up from the crowd, and everyone will want to be like you eventually.
That's it. Very good advice.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Helena. I appreciate this opportunity and look forward to hearing a lot of more great things about you.
Thank you for
one
having
time
me.
maybe you'll get a Grammy, you know.
Yeah, or an Oscar. Like, what's
An
next?
Oscar, yeah. Mhm.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Oscar, yes, yeah. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
You can talk to him tomorrow.
What do you mean?
We've received so many letters from supporters that I can't even find my desk. The phone is still ringing. So the mayor scheduled a town hall meeting for tomorrow at 10 a.m.
I heard through the grapevine that you're moving to Charleston.
Will got a really great job out there. Just it's all happening so fast.
This is gonna crush the mayor.
Well, actually, now that I have you here, you know everyone in town.
A community organizer is only as good as her volunteers.
Exactly. So if you could think of anyone that might be a really great replacement for me.
No one could ever replace you. So we'll hang out soon.
Yes, for sure. What are you doing here?
Well, I've been looking all over for you. You know, ever since the night you left. Where you been?
Far away from you.
Well, hey, I just wanted to tell you that I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, I used to be a heavy drinker. And the death of your mom, it just put so much...
Leave my mother's name out of your mouth! You never deserved her!
Is there a problem here? Jessica, you need some help.
No. He's just leaving. Why in the hell would you do that, you son of a bitch? That man was more of a father to me than you ever could be!
Jessica, listen. I was completely wrong with the way that I treated you. But I changed. I went to AA meetings. I got sober. I saw a therapist. Please, I am so sorry.
Give me one good reason why I shouldn't just throw you off this ledge right now. Give me one! Get your hands out of your pockets. I said, take your hands out of your pockets and put them behind your head. What are you? What are you? The butterfly lady? How long's that been going on?
Nothing's going on. I hardly know her.
Well, then let's not throw away all the time we had together. We had something really special.
Had.
Is that everything?
Yeah. It's funny, I feel like I'm forgetting something.
We'll have it shipped. Come on, we're gonna miss a flight. So I got an interesting call.
Oh yeah? About what?
Well, the bureau chief in Barcelona. I'm not taking it, of course, but it was interesting. We were just talking about the frog's brain. Now, you notice behind the cerebrum, the optic lobes. Now, what did you notice about them, Tia?
Tiny. tiny compared to the cerebrum and the medulla.
Okay. All right. I'm looking for Vincent Keller.
Yeah.
Mr. Keller, you're under arrest. Oh no, my orders are quite clear. So you're my husband's type.
And your husband is my type.
If you find yourself alone with him, I'd make the most of it.
He's a lucky man.
My husband and I have a lot in common.
Oh.
More than he knows.
You never wear earrings, huh? No. But you... Right? But you should, you know? I always thought that I had some, like, superpowers, you know? Just because I know the perfect accessory for anyone.
Hey, relax. You know what I really want, Dan? And then I'll make it worth your while.
Can't keep me down.